What's up guys, Fluky here. Today I've decided to restart my basic GFX Tuts series, and this is basically just because I recently joined a team called Ignite Imagery, and this isn't really like many other teams in the fact that we also do tutorials, and we have other stuff like pack giveaways as well as doing speed arts and normal stuff like that. So be sure to go check them out, and today the tutorial I'm going to be doing is like there's the sort of glitch effect that most people do now at the end of like finishing the background, they just add a load of filters. But with mine, I prefer to think of it as a retro glitch because my style is more retro based, and I kind of try to make it have a more 80s sort of feel. So the first thing I do, of course, is I just grab all the layers. So just click on the top, go to the very bottom, hold shift, click at the bottom, and you select all the layers, and then just merge them all like that. And then it's probably best that you merge it with the backing as well, because you want to get it over everything basically. Alright, once you've done that, the first thing I normally add is noise. So I go to do this, I go to filters, I go to noise, and I go to add noise. Now what I actually normally do before doing anything is duplicate the layer, because then I can change like the opacity over the top. So if I go back and do that again, and then I put it up to wherever I want, so I can put it up to something quite high like 16. And I can just lower the opacity like that. Another thing I normally do is I use a selection tool to make it so that the noise is more predominant in certain areas. So to do this, I'd normally use the ellipsis selection tool, and then I'd change it to something between 80 and 100. Then I'd select the area where maybe I don't want it as harsh, so I'm going to do that in the middle. Then I'm going to right click and put layer via cut. So basically now I can just lower the opacity in this middle bit, so it's a little bit more noisy around the edges. And then I might even do that again and just do a little bit more of an outside one like that, and then go to here again onto this bottom layer again, and then cut it again, and then just do that a little bit less. So it's more of a like a gradient from it being very noisy to not as noisy. And I do that quite a lot with most of my filters, just because I think it kind of, I don't know, I just like it to go like that. So once you've done that, you once again just merge all the layers. Basically with this I'm just going to try and show you everything I use, and hopefully, I always do it in a different order, so basically anything could happen, so we'll just see what happens. So once again, duplicate the layer. This time I'm going to try going into filter gallery, which for me, no, it's alright, sometimes it takes a little bit longer than usual. So I'm going to go into, first of all, distort, and then diffuse glow. This is kind of like the noise before, but it kind of like, it glows out from it a little bit, so it really gets the 80s sort of thing going there. And then once again, you can just mess around. If you think the grain's already too much, you can put the grain down a bit. You want to put the glow up a little bit, actually. That's a bit too much, cool. Maybe like that, and then press OK. What I normally do is, if I think the background looks better cleaner, I wouldn't actually put any of these on. So with, for example, for this background, I didn't actually put any filters on it. So once again, you just merge them, duplicate again. This time I'm going to try doing something that I normally do, which is like, I think it's a little bit different. I haven't really seen many people doing it. So you just go into filter, going to stylize, and going to wind. And then make sure it's on wind, and make sure it's on, it can either be from left or right, but you have that. And then you duplicate the bottom one again, and go to it the same place again, and this time do it from the left. And of course you can't see it because it's below, but if you go to the top one and make the opacity 50%, you can see that it comes out both sides, and then you just merge those two layers, and then you use the opacity however you like here, so just depending on how much you want it. I use that in a majority of my backgrounds because I just think it like gives it a nice sort of, I don't know, I just like it because it looks good basically. So just merge those again. I'm going to go to filter gallery again, go to stylize, do the classic glowing edges. Most people seem to do this now, but when I do it I like to, oh shit, I didn't duplicate it, did I? There you go, let's do that. And then I like to screen it like that, so you've literally just got the brighter edges around the outside. Then I'd lower the opacity a bit like that. And if there's any bit that I don't think suits the colour range, like if you look just here, it's a bit green. I don't really want it to be that green, so I might use the pen tool to cut this bit out like this. Just select around the edges, right click, make selection, 0 feather areas, and then right click and cut that out. And then for this bit, I would go to make a gradient map, and I want that bit to be yellow. So I'm just going to do a dark yellow to light yellow gradient, like so. This isn't exactly, I'll probably mess around with it a little bit more than this, but this is just for example. Then if you press hue, as you can see, it makes everything yellow. And then I just create a clipping layer over this bit, and as you can see, it just makes it yellow rather than being green, which is kind of what I was going for. Then once again, I'll just merge all of those, duplicate again. Just have it's basically just having a go with everything. I might have another look in here. Honestly, guys, I think the best way of doing it is just by trying stuff out. So I remember one I always use also is glass. Then I like to put the distort down to, I think it's about 1. Maybe it's a bit more. Yeah, maybe like 2 or something like that. But as you can see, it kind of gives it sort of the glitch effect that most people have. I'll just put that on, and I won't even lower the opacity on that because I just want to look a little bit like that. Now I'm going to use another technique which doesn't involve filters, and this is more of you'll see people done this before in speed arts, and you might have thought, what is that? But there's a way where you can first you use the rectangle marquee tool, and you literally just click and drag, hold shift like this, literally just random places, and you may have seen people do this before, but I got another way of doing it which I know it's just a lot easier, and you can basically make your own template. So what you do is, I've got my own pack here with it in, and basically what you do is, in here it's in glitch selection, and basically it's just a load of squares, and you can make this yourself just by literally dragging a load of squares. It's very, very easy. And the reason this is very useful is because instead of dragging them all out like that, you can just literally hold control and click in the thumbnail down here in the layers, and it makes the selection for you. And it's a lot quicker than doing it every single time. You can make loads of different ones. Like in my pack here, you can see I've got 3 different ones. So you can have like quite heavy, maybe like a few less, like for the third one. So once you've done that, you can just click on the bottom one instead of right clicking and going on cut, because it will cut it completely out. You just want to go on copy, or you can press Ctrl J, and as you can see, if you hide the top one, it just looks normal. But now if you press Ctrl T, maybe just press up on the arrow key and left on the arrow key, it makes that selection. Maybe if you want to mix it up a little bit, you can do something which I like to do, which is if you double click on it, and I've had a previous tutorial on how to do a RGB split using these 3 here, and basically I'm going to do a similar thing, but I'm going to just do it on the selected areas. So I'm going to try and find purple or pinky purple and yellow. So literally, I know it sounds really stupid, but if you just hide them all, and eventually you find the right colour. So like that, I just found that pink. And as you can see it around the edges there. Gives it a nice little glitch effect. And then once again, if you hold control and click in the thumbnail, and then duplicate it there, and then instead of going up and left, go down and right, like that. And then try and find yellow this time, which is much more difficult to find. Where is it? There it is. And then as you can see, it's kind of just giving it that nice sort of glitchy effect. If any of you guys want any other tutorials, please be sure to comment what you want. Same on go find Ignite and go subscribe to them. I'll put a link in the description, of course. But you'll get a broad range of tutorials on there. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you guys next time.